A dated retail outlet with damp carpet and annoying lights. A parking garage with puddles and paintings that can kill you. Nasty utility tunnels with living pipes, how nice. A series of maintenance tunnels with stupid amounts of electrical machinery and utility tunnels kind of similar to level 2. An empty office building with thunderstorms outside and tons of settlements. A vintage hotel, where you can die at complete random. A dark tundra with subterranean tunnels sprinkled in. An unstable ocean with an underwater bunker. A massive cavern with eldritch abominations and abandoned settlements inside it. A mostly abandoned neighborhood at night with a bunch of entities hiding in the darkness. A field with an abundant amount of worms under the soil. A desolated city with suspiciously high amounts of carbon monoxide. A bunch of anomalous spaces that don't like being photographed or recorded. A greenhouse floating in the sky with psychological hazards. A dangerous, infinite hospital with a shadow creature actively hunting you. A futuristic series of hallways that can clean themselves and are impossible to live in. A mental hospital that no-clipped into the backrooms. A pretty large cargo carrier with ghosts inside it. Your memories which get more and more unstable. A dark hotel that is really confusing in geometry. A warehouse that has existed since the 20th century. An expansive series of hotel hallways with some of the doors being able to take you to other levels. A safe parking garage that got turned into a destroyed hellscape due to level 630. A empty Viennese city that can predict the future. Extraterrestrial landscapes that have differently colored crystals and can have planets collide with each other. An arcade with mostly damaged or destroyed arcade machines. A really large house-looking space with a blue forest outside. A massive wooden basement with knocking sounds in its walls. A cramped fragile attic that can look similar to level 27. A very anomalous art gallery with paintings that can lead to other levels. A bunch of dangerous pool-looking spaces. A regular rolling rink that sends you to level 0 if you try stealing its skates. An apocalyptic version of Earth. A mall that has more abstract architecture the further you go inside it. A nasty sewer system with some really cramped tunnels. A grayscale meadow that has time discrepancies. An empty airport that gets more glitchy the further you explore it. A bunch of relaxing pools with Epsom salt in the water. A Mexican town that is incredibly affected by the Breaking Bad filter. A 1800s to 1980s era neighborhood surrounded by a massive factory. An empty rental store with videotapes that can kill you.
Capitalism at its finest!
When Mom says we have level 188 at home. An underwater theme park that has the ability to flood that also has a shipwreck inside of it. A bunch of tunnels made with ice with varying color. A forest with glowing water and caves. A massive burning hot desert with entities inside it. Did you know that this level has the weirdest description ever? A boundless supermarket that is under lockdown due to having radon. A non-Euclidean road with increasingly frequent intersections. A road in the middle of a desert with a couple entities. A Japanese temple that makes you nuts. A school campus that was invaded by the Sanguine Festivus. A mostly normal suburban house that can only be entered via wormholes. When Mom says we have level 922 at home. A series of fake grassy hills and houses that make you turn lightheaded. A Georgian building with somebody who does not want you staying in it for very long. A mall that can turn incredibly dangerous when the lights turn off. Level 33 but dark and calming. A steam engine that fell into the backrooms that likes giving random wanderers memories of itself. An abandoned house with a woman actively stalking you. A large city stuck at nighttime with a ridiculously dangerous park. A cave that suffered the same affliction as level 22. An abandoned port with equally abandoned boats. A bunch of randomly generated hallways and rooms. An infinite harbor covered in fog. An empty restaurant that rickrolls you. An infinite motel based on the Hilbert Hotel Paradox experiment. A garden surrounded by radiation that mutates its flowers. A bunch of pool-like spaces with a day/night cycle. A marketplace that suffers from radiation. A shooting gallery where you can buy guns. A snowy plain suffering a violent blizzard. A bunch of overcrowded, poorly made houses that suffer natural disasters. A calming snowy road with spatial distortions. A desolate, abandoned ranch that eventually becomes calming the longer you stay in it. A bunch of grassy hills and fields with a smiley face replacing the sun. A snowy urban city with little to no hostile entities. An abandoned library with ghosts inside it. An abandoned musical school with ridiculously high ceilings and worms hiding inside pianos. California, but with entities. A relaxing field of roses with shadow figures. Level 11, but more dangerous. A 1960s era city with nuclear alarms that will psychologically torture you. Billiard halls, where you get to play a game of pool. A massive restaurant with a sick aquarium inside it. A bunch of stores with a concerningly abundant amount of electricity. A series of party rooms that make you suicidal. The Backrooms version of Route 66. A cave of blanket forts that overwhelm you with comfort. A bunch of apartment complexes that will make you terrified of the color red. Weird landscapes with amalgamated structures from the front rooms. Level 93 but a lot safer and with chirping crickets trying to convince you to enter a forest. Yellow diners that can repeat sections of building-lined streets before looping on themselves. A ton of skyscrapers in the sky with low gravity and invisible walls. A finite series of unfinished rooms with an absurd amount of entities. Weirdcore and dreamcore, if they became a backrooms level. A beach that can make you start hallucinating if you stay there for a week.